Hello. Good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a conversation with one of our clients. His name is Mohamed. He's been in e-commerce for a few years now. He's a former engineer, and he got his e-commerce business to $300,000 a month, which is pretty solid. And now he's working on another brand that we're helping him with. With that brand, he just started, and he is doing like 12% conversion rate. So we will learn from him, what's working for him, how he got on e-commerce journey, how he transitioned from his 9-to-5 job, and also how he is scaling his business. All of the moving parts, all of the lessons that he's learned. So super excited to chat with Mohamed today. Before we get started, please let me know if you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay, if everything is okay from the technical standpoint, and we will get started. So just drop one in the chat if you can hear me okay, if sound is on point. Thank you so much for joining. Jake, Ray, Osmani, Gusagara. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Just drop one in the chat if you can hear me okay. Max Feeling, hello, sir. Mohamed is joining us in a second. I think he is from France. We'll find out more where he is from, and we'll find out more about his story. It's fascinating, people are doing these transitions, right? Like from regular 9-to-5s to business, then scaling that business. And it's so possible, and it's so doable, and it's so realistic as long as you commit to it for extended period of time. And that's exactly what I want to share with you today, like how all of that process worked for Mohamed, kind of doing the transition in the first place and then scaling his business, everything that he has learned. That will be super, super fascinating conversation. So let me see if Mohamed is able to join us here. And we will get started. So if you have any questions for Mohamed, please drop them in the chat. Hey, Dastan, great to have you. W.A., all good. Hello from Kazakhstan. That's awesome. You guys have some phenomenal boxers in Kazakhstan. So thank you so much for joining. And we'll get started in a second here. Let me see if Mohamed is able to join us. Just message him here. Oh, okay, cool. Let me see here. Oh, Mohamed, my man, can you hear me? Hello from Dubai, Wellness Warriors. By the way, we'll have our Elite Mastermind event in Dubai, end of February. If you want to join us, about 200 e-commerce entrepreneurs coming together to network, learn, and brainstorm with each other. Mohamed, thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure. Hi, Alex. How are you doing?
Good, my man. Good. Where are you from?
Awesome.
I see your number is French.
Yeah. Actually, I'm Moroccan. So, but I lived in France. So I lived in France. I got the number. Yeah.
Cool. But your accent is like what, British? No.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just like that. It's just natural. I actually happened to had some colleagues when I was working, and some of them were like British. So I kind of got the British accent. But yeah, it's kind of mixed, British and American, and
Cool, man. Good stuff. Thank you so much for joining me. So yeah, if you can tell us more about your journey, kind of like how everything has been so far for you, like e-commerce journey, kind of like from start. I know you've been in like engineer in the past, so yeah, kind of like from the start, please. Mohamed, can you hear me?
Yeah, for sure. So it's been a lot of
Is that on my side or on your side? I don't know. The connection is kind of weak.
downs, like every entrepreneur. So I started.
Hey, my man.
From my end,
Yeah.
I
It's
can hear you pretty well.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay? I don't know if it's connection on my side, on your side.
Yeah, for me, I hear you pretty well. So it's good on my end, but I'm not
Okay.
sure actually if it's good good on yours.
Oh yeah. Okay, now it's better. I think it's better, guys. Please let me know if the connection is good. I think now it should be better.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, so I was talking about how I started. I sort of like have like an quality engineering degree. So I got my degree here in Morocco. Then I moved to France and I started working there. Worked as an aircraft quality engineer for a couple of years. It was making like aircrafts and stuff. And yeah, 2 years ago, I just like quit my job, and I decided to like figure out what I'm gonna do in my life. A lot of options. I was thinking about like trading and ecom on the list, fitness trainer as well. And yeah, it happened, or I chose to continue on ecom. So I started like learning about ecom and stuff. So at the beginning, tested a bunch of products like here and there. Um, Found some wins and found like one product I scaled like to back in the days like in 1-2K a day. And then I decided actually to try cash on delivery. So I switched to like another like a different business model. Cash on delivery is totally different than online payments. So yeah, so I took that product. Then I started like doing cash on delivery here in Morocco. I did pretty well, and I had like some partner issues. One 3PL actually I was working with, he just like because the 3PL collects money when it comes to cash on delivery, and he just like got the money and disappeared, and ghosted me.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, it's insane. I did like in the first month, I did like around like 100K, with around like 30% profit, and yeah, the guy just like disappeared. Stopped like responding to me, and yeah. So and then I went back to online payments with the same product in Europe.
How did
And
you recover from that? Like, I mean, so you took a loss, like $100,000.
You actually 30K profit that I didn't get, from him. And what I did, it was a lot of trouble. Like in the past 2 years, it was not only like doing like ecom. I was like doing, I reach out to lawyers. I was doing a lot of things. The guy actually, he just like didn't tell me that I don't want to give you back the money. He just like started like with excuses like I don't have the money for now. My daughter is sick. I gotta like take care of my daughter, stuff like that. But it's just like hired like a lawyer for this case. I was like and going back and forth, and eventually got the money back. Yeah, but it was a lot of trouble. I was not like focused on making the money. Like for like 6 or even up to 9 months, I was doing just that, like and I was not in Morocco. I was like in Europe, and for him it was in Morocco. It was a lot of back and forth and a lot of trouble. But yeah, eventually I got my money back with the help of the lawyer, and yeah, I went back like to online payments in
Why did
Europe.
you? Okay, so how was cash on delivery markets, let's say in Morocco, like, do you still see like a lot of potential in that market? Let's say if you had a reliable partner for cash on delivery, like, would you recommend those markets, or you just prefer like other markets after your experience?
Um, well, after my experience, I think that there's like a big potential, like in markets like that for cash on delivery. The problem, I mean, where I see actually, I was like in my 30s. I started when I'm 30 years old. So of course, in markets like that, there's like a big potential if you unlock, I mean, the market and the business model. But for me, I was trying actually to not be the first one like to do something in that business model. I was not trying actually to figure out how it works. I was trying actually to find um, one thing that is proven to work. I mean, and I can find people who already did it. Because if I was like in my 20s, I would like approach this like differently. I would like I have time in my 20s. I can risk. I can go like try things like be the first one to be in the in that like market or something like that. But now I'm trying actually to save up time because I'm in my 30s. So I just need to find, proven markets and proven business models, and I just need to find like people who already like in that place and did it. They're gonna tell me how they did it, and I'm just gonna, replicate the same thing. And but yeah, to answer your question, there's like a big potential. If you unlock the market and the business model, there's like a huge. I did like 100K. I was like a newbie. I was just like having trouble with getting like the goods like in customs, like getting the goods like blocked there, all that stuff. But yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I would recommend like for someone like who's like still a little bit young in his journey. Yeah, there's a huge potential, yeah, for sure,
That's
of course.
interesting. Because like, I mean, the so Morocco is Africa, right? Like, it's kind of like Northern Africa.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's in the top of Africa.
Uh-huh. So there is like many different markets, because I mean everyone kind of like, and there's well-known markets like United States, Canada, Australia, UK. A lot of people are selling in Europe, but there is also, these markets that are like, e-commerce is kind of like just getting, popular in those markets, and it's not saturated at all. Like, for example, we have a client in the program who's from Argentina, like he sells in Argentina. We have another client from Argentina who sells in like Colombia, Mexico, these cash on delivery markets. I mean, he's doing like 500K a month. In those markets, the competition is minimal. Now you have some logistical kind of like, it's more complicated logistically, because like it's also cash on delivery markets. You have to import the products and stuff like that. But I mean,
Yeah.
he makes like 30% profit margins, like 40% profit margins in some months. And, I think there's a lot of potential in some of these kind of like less saturated markets. If people come from there, they understand the mentality, they understand the language, they can build pages and stuff like that in native languages. There's a lot of opportunity in these less saturated markets, in my perspective.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, just need to find the good partners to work with. I mean, if you can find them, then yeah. I mean, for me, for example, Morocco. I mean, advertising was so cheap. I was getting like orders like with one box, 2 box like an order, and but yeah, it's a different business model. You need to confirm. There's like a confirmation rate and the delivery rate as well. But yeah, man. In those like blue oceans, like there's a big and a huge opportunity.
So which markets? So you okay? You tried Morocco, then you started living in Europe. Like, which markets did you go after?
I went for France, obviously because I speak French, so I just like tried the French market, and yeah, I did pretty well in that market as well. Um, I was doing Snapchat in France, and Snapchat is like was a killer like in France, and yeah, was doing pretty well.
And you scaled that business to 300K a month.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was like back in 2023. Yes.
Uh-huh. And so what happened after that? Like, the Snapchat got saturated, the product kind of like stopped selling. What happened?
So actually, the mistake that I did is it was like a seasonal product, you know. It was like, you know, more in the shaving niche, you know, skincare shaving. Um, so in the summer, it was at that time when I was doing like 300K a month, and it was like selling like crazy, you know. And that was like you getting, you know, getting ready for Q4, and they bought a lot of stock, you know. And in Europe, you know, Q4 is like winter, and I couldn't sell it. Like I got like huge stock. I got like 60K in stock, and then I bought. I was like, you know, trying to crush like Q4 and stuff like that. And yeah, in Q4 I didn't do well. I didn't do well. I didn't sell. Like it was winter. Women was they were not thinking about, you know, getting that, you know, that silky smooth skin like in the winter. And yeah, so I couldn't sell it, and I ended up with a lot of stock like just sitting stock, and I couldn't sell it. And yeah, it was I had like a big cash flow issue right after.
Mm, got it. I mean, so you've been through all circles of hell.
Yeah, exactly. But as I told you, I started like in my 30s, and I was trying actually to do mistakes like quickly, you know, just like execute fast. Like I knew that I'm gonna do mistakes, but I just wanted to do them like quickly, learn from them, and move on. That's what I was trying to do because I don't
Mm,
have time. You know, I need to make them like as fast as possible, learn as fast as possible, and you know, carry on.
man,
So that's the thing.
I love this mindset, right? Because it's kind of like, I mean, human kind of typical human behavior, right, is to avoid mistakes, right? Because mistakes are usually painful. And you know, even like some of these like mistakes you've done, like they probably were like very stressful and kind of like not very pleasant. But like the mindset where you're getting into the business, right? And I mean, definition of like entrepreneurship, like I was reading it the other day. The definition of entrepreneurship is someone of entrepreneur, right? Is someone who starts a business, usually taking on most of the risk and rewards, right? So you're taking the risks, right? And that's what you said in terms of like making mistakes, because you know not everything that you will try will work out, but then also you're getting the rewards. If it works, I mean, you can make a lot of money. And so just having that mindset, especially for people that are transitioning from, you know, like 9 to 5 to entrepreneurship, it's important to have this mindset shift that they will inevitably make some mistakes, they will probably lose money on some things, but then if they stick to it, you know, they can make a lot of money, they can set themselves for life. And I think that that mindset shift is so important for people, because it's not what they teach you in school, right? Like in school they teach you like to get a job,
Yeah.
you have perceived job security, kind of like you think that the job is secure, and then you work that job for 40 years and then hopefully you retire like so.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, 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 100%, man. And yeah, I mean, I was like expecting myself actually to make mistakes because I'm doing something I've never done, you know. And yeah, it's normal to make mistakes. I was just like trying actually to normalize that I'm gonna make mistakes. Like if you're trying like the first time to ride like a bike, do you expect actually to just ride it like the first day without like, you know, getting your, I don't know, your knee injured or something like that? It's not logical. And yeah, same thing applies to business. Yeah, it's just normal actually to make mistakes, especially if you're doing something you've never done before. And yeah, that's the game, part of the game.
For sure, my man. So, how was that? Are you still with that air control air quality aircraft engineer, or like you still in there, or you quit that
No,
job?
no, I quit like 2 years ago. I quit my job like, yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Wow, interesting. Was it like your decision? Like you just like one day you just decided to quit?
It was like, you know, it was like a process of thinking because I was always thinking about like how life is getting expensive, you know, with inflation and stuff like that. And I was thinking that if you're not like, and it's only gonna get like expensive like in the future. You know, inflation, everything's gonna get expensive. And I realized that if you're not selling something, you're gonna be like in a bad position. because, like, for example, if you're a merchant and the cost of goods like getting higher, for example, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna raise the price,
Yeah.
increase the price and the mark up the price, and you gonna still be like profitable. But if you're like a pure end consumer, you're just gonna accept. You're just gonna, I mean, you go to a supermarket, for example, to buy apple. Yesterday it was like $5, and today it's like $10, and the merchant's gonna tell you, okay, I mean, the cost is getting higher, so I increase the price. But for you as a like end consumer, you're just gonna accept that. You're just gonna buy like $10. You had no choice. And that's the thing that that shifts in my mind. That was like, I can't like keep like living that way. And the 9 to 5, it didn't make sense for me, like in this case.
Mm. And
Yeah.
you lived in France at that point?
Yeah, I was in France. I was in between like south of France and Paris. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
for a little bit of time. Yeah,
Because also like in France, the taxes are crazy, right?
yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. I mean, you would pay around like 40% like in taxes. It's which is huge actually. And yeah, I mean, it's insane. So things didn't make much sense to me. And also, like, I had like some other things. I wanted to give back to my parents as well, to buy them some stuff, and it was like, okay, how much I save per month? Did the math, and I realized that I need to years actually to make those things a reality, and try other things. And yeah, I'm just gonna try start another business, and yeah, it is where it is.
So you calculated that you would have to live 200 years?
Yeah, exactly. So the things that I wanted to like to buy my parents, for example, it was like impossible. I would have like to live like 300 years actually to make that possible. And okay, I had like two options. Either the first option, the 9 to 5, it's like guaranteed they're not gonna achieve those goals like 100%. I'm not gonna live like 300 years. And the other things, another option is to start a business. And when I started a business, there's still like a chance. Like, it's not like zero chance. It's still like a chance that I can make it work, and I can hit those goals. And yeah, and when I came to that like conclusion, I just like said like fuck that. I'm just gonna start like another thing. Yeah,
Interesting moment. Yeah, I think it's a very very good like like thought process like in general, because everyone has some dreams in life and some goals in life, and most people want to have freedom, either it's financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom, but then just putting those things on paper and just actually like reverse engineering like whether what you're doing right now will lead you to achieve those outcomes, like, and then just realizing if that's even like something that even achievable, right? Because people are kind of
yeah,
living their lives with a hope that their lives will change someday, but there is no kind of like path. If
yeah,
if you're like working 9 to 5 and you're saving minimally, or like you're not making like enough income to achieve those goals, then there's no way that you'll be able to achieve them. And so it's uncomfortable. It's probably very uncomfortable kind of like calculation, but I think it's also very useful calculations. Like, okay, like I want to buy a house, right? How much the house
it is.
costs? Okay, it costs this much. Like, can I like how many years I would have to work in my
Yeah,
current role or doing what I'm doing now in order to buy that house or that car, or whatever, or having the lifestyle that I want. And so wow, yeah, I love it, man. I love it.
yeah, exactly. So it made no sense. You just need to do the math, and most of the people, they don't think about it. Know, this way, like practically, they don't think about it, man. And yeah, and then so like there's the problem of why they're trying actually to do the thing that they're trying to do. I mean, if you have like, it's not going to be a problem. And of course, I mean, if you're comfy, in your comfort zone, it's hard because you have a job, you have a salary, you're kind of doing well, and to leave all of that and start like from scratch, this is hard. It's not like you have nothing like working on. I mean, you have no job, nothing, and in that case, the only option that you have is just like to continue. You don't have like any other option. But the most like hard way is just like you are in your comfort zone. You're working. You're making like let's say, I mean, decent salary, and to say no to all of that and start like from scratch. This is hard. This is another level actually, and yeah.
Cool, man. And so, okay, so you went so after Snapchat, like kind of like what happened? What did you do?
Well, with that cash flow issues, with stock and stuff like that, I just went back because I was building a brand. I've always like wanted to build like a long term. I was always thinking about long term play. Uh, so I had that cash flow issue, and I just went back to dropshipping, just in like products. I needed to raise some cash flow, so we can start like my new amount, my next like journey, my next brand. So yeah, beginning of 2024, started like drop shipping some products. Found some winners. Had some other like cash flow issues, trademark issues. Got like products in customs, and they got like they seized all the products, around like 35K of products. They seized them for trademark issues, and they never like give them back to me, and just lost like 35K again, like in trademark issues. And it's just like my cash flow issues has got like worse and worse. Yeah, and I kept like testing products. My agents were like super helpful, because it was like I was not like paying like at the same day. Like, let's say, it was like giving me like a month, 2 months actually to pay back. And yeah, I managed actually to get like to get like some cash flow, and that's where I realized that, yeah, I mean, I can't like have like different stores, like multiple stores that are drop shipping. I need to focus on one thing. And that's why I started again like this skincare brand that I'm currently working on. Going 100% on it, like 100% focus. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now.
Man, that's awesome. I think yeah, that focus is that focus is so crucial. Like, because even it was, I mean, even it was one brand, like you can do like you can scale it to millions of dollars per month, and then like also sell the brands, right? And it's harder to run like multiple stores, like a lot of people do, like multiple stores, multiple different niches, multiple different like moving parts. It just becomes like so complex if you do it that way. And then also there's like yeah, there's just simply not enough time in a day to do all of those things
Yeah.
unless you have like a big team to help you with all of those. But then if you have a team, you have to manage that whole team. So just going all in on one brand is definitely something, kind of, just a lot better option.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you ask like successful people, the big dogs like in the game, you just ask them, I mean, to tell you one, if there's like one thing that like, that helped them actually, just switch, from being like kind of broke or to be like successful, is focus. I've watched like, all your videos on YouTube, actually interviewing like Marek or Simone, and all of them. I mean, they all of them, they agree on one thing. It's just focus. You just need to like focus on one thing. You can't do like 10 things like at the same time. I mean, you can give like 10% on each one, and expect like 100% results, and you can't do that. I mean, there's a saying actually, a man who chases two rabbits catches none. And yeah, this is also applies to business as well. And also, I mean, if you're given 10% on thing, how are you going to compete with the who is given like 100%? It doesn't make sense. Actually, you lose, and it happened to me. I was given like 10% on one thing. I was competing with people like given like even more than 100% on that same thing, and I was expecting actually that win. You're competing with guys like given all what it takes actually. So So yeah, and that was like, why I'm losing is because you're giving 10%, you're not giving 100%. And as soon as you start actually, being laser focused on one thing, you start to get results. And yeah.
For sure, for sure. So when it comes to like ad strategy, like angles and stuff like that, what are the things that are working for you right now? Like, what are the things that have you seen? The team shared with me, like, I mean, you have like 12% conversion rate, or you had like one of the days like 12% conversion rate on your website.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So
what are the biggest kind of like learnings for you in that sense recently?
well, actually, the thing is, for now, I'm just like testing. I need to have like a good structure actually that that would be like able actually to support the scale. And for me, just like testing angles, testing like knowing the markets that you going after, doing market research, knowing about the market awareness as well, how aware, I mean, your market, the market sophistication as well, how sophisticated is your market, and all those things actually is like can be can have like a huge actually impact on your business. And that's the thing that I'm trying actually to do. I'm just like testing different things, different hooks, different angles, different landing pages, different copy. And yeah, eventually I need like to get like my conversion rate high, and my structure good, to be able actually to support the scale. And this thing actually, that's what I think that dropshipper, the mistake that they do is, as soon as the product die out, it's just like they freak out. I mean, I don't know why it's not working. um and they don't like actually try to test like different angles, for example, try to understand the market as well. And yeah, that's the difference between like drop shippers and the people who think like long term, and who actually build the skills, the skills of understanding the market, the awareness of the market angles. And yeah, those are key.
For sure. So what's your process for doing this like research? Like, do you go to Amazon? Do you go to forums? Like, what usually are the steps for you to do the market research?
Yeah, for me, just yeah, first it's Amazon actually. It's just like go to the reviews and read the reviews of people who bought the product, and the things that they liked about it, the things that they dislike, all the common problems. And I try actually to come up with new angles, and a new copy actually that incorporate the I mean the all I mean the good things that they like about the product, but also the thing that they dislike about the product as well. So yeah, it's Amazon, it's Quora, it's Reddit. Yeah, it's also, I mean, the Facebook comments that you get on your ads. I go through the comments and just read what people say. And yeah, for example, lately I was like, go in for an elder demographic, like women 40 plus for skincare. And I was reading the comments. I was like, something was like really interesting, and I never like paid attention to that. And so those kind, this audience didn't believe that the product like gonna solve their problem. They were like, no, it's not for us. It's for like more like a female in their like 20s and 30s. And this gives you an insight actually not to go after that market. Is not gonna work out, and telling you that this is the market that you need to go after. So it's really important to pay attention to that as well.
Mm, interesting. And so, like, do you use any like AI tools in your like research process?
I use like most of the time is just like ChatGPT, Claude, and that's those are the things that I
Mhm.
use for now. Yeah.
That's awesome, and I think that's one of the steps that, like, literally, like knowing, pretty much like majority of entrepreneurs that are doing numbers, that is one distinctive factor between those that are doing like crazy numbers and those that do not, is that people that are doing good numbers, they're dedicating time and effort like to do the research and to identify the unique angles to sell their product, the specific pain points that customers have, so they can make their advertising more appealing, overall like their marketing more efficient and more relevant for the consumer. And people that are not doing big numbers, they just kind of like do surface level ads, or they're just copying ads, or ads or scripts from other people. But that differentiating point was doing the research is just it's so obvious, that people are doing numbers. They all do that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, I mean they are playing like short term, play versus the guys who are thinking about building brands, and that's what I like actually in your community. I mean, people really think long term. Like if you just like copy other people, drop shipping and just copy, what skills do you have? You have no skills actually. You got like lucky, you have no skills. You don't know why it works at the first place, and the product die out and don't work. I had no idea how it started work in the first place. And yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's understand your market and marketing angles and copy and all of that is really important in the long term.
For sure. And guys, please drop, if you have any questions for Mohamed, please drop them in the chat so I can ask him here. Like, I mean, your journey is very like, I mean, the way I see entrepreneurship journey, right? Like entrepreneurship journey overall has like its ups and downs. And then throughout, like as you emerging like from one stage to another, kind of like you learning some lessons, like you become smarter, right? You also evolving your business model, you try to make better decisions. And that's literally what happened with you. Like you went from one market, you made some mistakes, another market, another model. And so now, like with learnings from all of those experiences, like you're building something that is more long term, that can set you up for success in the next like 3, 5, 10 years. Like not just something that will make money like tomorrow or like for a few months, but something that can set you up for success in a longer time frame. I think that's the difference between people that are successful long term in business in general and people that are not.
Yeah, I mean, people like dropshipping, like in the beginning of their journey, they don't take it as a business. They like see it as like a quick plan to make money, to make cash. And this is actually the false idea that you see. I mean, on social media, all those like fake gurus, what they actually commercialize as ideas, just like the get rich quickly plan. Start drop shipping, gonna make money fast, and yeah, I mean that's where actually they get stuck actually, because they think small, they think this is short term game, and they lose because they're playing against like the big dogs who think long term.
For sure. We have some questions here from people listening. So Alan is asking, at what point did you know e-commerce was the best vehicle to pursue? Because you explored multiple vehicles, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I was like, I was thinking about trading. I started like trading as well. But the thing with e-com, and like if we compare it to trading, for example, I can control actually my e-com business. Whether like in trading, for example, if you're doing like day trading and you just like you don't control actually what is happening in the market, and just like stocks is going up and down, but you have no control over that. And the same thing apply to crypto and stuff like that. You just buy it and hope it's going to go up, and they wanted something that they have control over it. And e-com is like a business model actually that you have 100% control over it as a business. So yeah, that's why I pursued e-com.
Awesome. Another question from WA. For a newbie that is earning good money in a job and looking to build a business, what things should we start on first? What should we learn first?
I think like for me, it's just like you need to start like to how with marketing, you know, you need to really understand actually how I mean the sales process actually how you can sell stuff like you can start like with direct response as well. You're going through like actually the direct response like you know everything related to that and human psychology as well. And because these skills are actually the foundation on which you're going to build up actually the whole process. So if you understand actually and you get that you know that foundation right, you can build the business on top of it because you have like the foundation skills. I think this is really important, how to market, how to sell. And these are the things actually that they don't teach us in school. Actually, they don't. Yeah, I mean, they don't teach you how to sell because they wanted to keep selling to you. They want you to be like to be always the end consumer who just consume things, and they never teach us actually about sales, about how to sell stuff. And yeah, I think you know for someone starting out, like start with understanding. I mean, sales and marketing, how it works. Um, and yeah, eventually you need to you. As soon as you get this right, you need to start like, learn about ads, how you get like sales, and based on the foundation and the skills that you have developed with direct response marketing and sales.
What would be the like the resources you would recommend, like either books, courses, kind of any kind of resources that you found valuable in your journey in learning those topics?
For me, it was like you know, I started when I was like 30 years old. You know, I didn't have like time actually to. I just wanted to find like people who are already like in that place that I want to be. I just wanted to ask them actually how they did it. They're gonna tell me exactly the process and all the steps that are required to make that happen. And I just need actually to do what they tell me. And I think this is really important. Investing in mentor or course or something like that is really important because it's gonna you know if someone for example took him like I don't know 5 years actually to figure out one thing. So you have two choices. Either you gonna pay with time, you're just gonna spend like 5 years of your life trying to figure out that thing, or you're just gonna go find that person, that mentor, and pay him, and he's gonna tell you exactly how he did it, and it's gonna save you a lot of time and headaches as well. So yeah, I mean, invest in yourself, you know, and finding like good mentor, and also in terms like of books, of reading books, because it's the same thing actually. Or someone he spent like decade of his life actually summarizing all the things that he learned and all the mistakes they have done, and just like you know sum them up like in one book and give it back to you, and just gonna you know it's gonna save you a lot of time as well. So investing in yourself is really key, and finding a good mentor. It was like really, I mean, the best thing that I've done actually, and I keep doing it. It's not like you do it like once and you set up for life. You keep learning and you keep finding you know good people who are gonna help you unlock the next levels.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, that was like one of the major lessons for me as well. Like the more and I mean, you're in your 30s, I'm in my 30s as well, and it's like, yeah, like you said, it's like you start to value your time a lot more, because your life goes fast, and you want to achieve all of the goals you have, and then you realize if you want to learn certain things or master certain things, like it's much, and then you start calculating how much it costs to actually acquire some knowledge or some skill. You realize it's much better to pay someone, acquire the skills, acquire the knowledge, acquire the information that you need, than to try to figure it out by yourself and then just spend tremendous amount of resources. Also, as you try new things and it doesn't work out, you might get disappointed, you might lose interest in learning that thing at all, right? Like, because you're not getting any results. And so like that was the same lesson for me on my journey, that you just need to find people that are good at what they do, And like we applied in our business, like in our business, we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, not per month, per year on, mentorships, courses, like consulting calls with people, like anything that can help us to get what we want a lot faster.
Yeah, 100%, man. Um, yeah, 100%. And yeah, this was like a big shift, like of mine, like for me, just switching from, I think there's like a book named like Who, Not How.
Mm.
So we always need to ask the question who got like the information that I'm looking for, and not really how, like how I'm trying actually to figure out that thing. So always ask this question: who's going to help me? And this applies not only to like ecom, like everything I'm trying to do. Like if you want to get in shape, for example, you just need actually to find one good like trainer, fitness trainer, ask him how he did it, how he got like I don't know, abs or like a big biceps, for example, and he's gonna tell you exactly how you did it, and you're gonna do the same thing, and you're gonna get the results. Yeah, this is how the game is playing. Yeah.
One extra thing on that is like, so I have a personal trainer, and what I've noticed is that it adds that extra layer of accountability. So for example, if we agree with my trainer that I'll be in the gym like at 6 p.m., right? Then I mean, fuck, even if I don't want to, I'll be there because I told him, I already paid him, right? So fuck, I
Yeah.
mean, now I'm in the gym at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Exactly.
if I would be by myself, I'm like, oh, I had this like long
Yeah.
day, and it's like, oh, it's like I had so many different things, or I'll probably take a day off and like recharge. And then like next day, it's like, yeah, you find another excuse, you find another
Yeah.
excuse, another excuse. And so I've noticed like now I have literally no option. Like, we have agreed, we have a deal. I paid
Yeah.
him. I have to show up and do what I have to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this accountability thing like is key, really, because you have no way back. I mean, you agreed on the terms, and you need to fulfill. So yeah.
For sure, my man. So how was the process, like a thought process for you? Like, so you joined our Get Hooked uh, offer, ESS, Get Hooked. So how was that process for you? Like, how did you, like, what made you join, and what was going through your head as well in terms of like, did you have any skepticism, any kind of like, what if it doesn't work out, anything like that?
Yeah. So actually, so I've just been like in ESS like for a couple of weeks. Like started like in 2025. I wanted to start like a fresh year, and actually, what made me actually take the decision actually to join is your approach. Actually, it's just like different than the other approach. Approaches people of those like fake gurus who still like teach like the ecom of 2016 and 17, and all you actually advising is like made sense to me. Thinking long term, thinking about like advertising getting like expensive, how to increase AOV, how to think more like in terms of LTV as well rather than AOV, how to get like a solid structure, how to learn about direct response, how to learn about like branding as well, and all of those things. It just like made sense to me. I watched like all of your videos on YouTube, and you just know, with a good mentor, a good like program, you just know, because all of that made sense to me. And Yeah, that's why I decided actually that I need to invest in that. And I had like no doubt. I was like 100% sure, because I was listening to her interviews as well with like successful people, and all of that made sense to me. I wanted to learn also about like the structure, how to, I mean, going like through VSLs, editorials, um, warming up actually your customers as well, trying to increase AOV, LTV, to be competitive as well. Because otherwise, if you don't do that and you still playing the game of 2016 and 17, you're just gonna lose, because you're playing with some guys that are like on a different level, playing a different game. So yeah, so all of that made sense to me actually, and I heard about your community as well. I mean, the people in the community are like, are kind of they're like different, different in terms of their mindset, how they approach the business. And I've been into other community as well, and I would say that your program is like the best I've ever been, like as a program. I've been to like some like one of the good, I mean, some of the good like programs in ecom, but yours in terms of community, in terms of the things that you teach, in terms of having like, one-on-one with your mentor, like with Seri, for example. He's a G, like he's having like someone like, who's looking deeply in your business, who know exactly what you're doing and every detail of your business, and advising you actually on the mistake that you do on a regular basis. This is really important. I've never seen such a thing like in other programs.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, man. Yeah, and I mean, Sergey, for instance, he's running like one of our brands, like, so he's like hands on, like he sees all of the parts of the process. He sees the operations part, he sees the marketing part, he sees the like different like multi-channel, Amazon, like he's so kind of like full stack, right? And so I think it's hard to get access to it's hard to get access to people like that, and like I've been also like in other programs, and the person might be good at one thing, but then they might not see the full picture. And I think there's a lot of like kind of like value add from like talking to a person who sees a bigger picture, like how different parts of the business are interconnected with each other. Yeah, I appreciate your trust, man. I appreciate you joining the program, and I'm looking
For
forward
sure.
to get you to some, first, I mean, what's your next kind of like benchmark, like 100K? You want to back to 100K with this new brand?
Yeah, eventually. And yeah, I'm not trying actually to just like, push like some numbers. I'm trying actually to hit like a 1 million a month, like in 2025. Yeah.
Let's fucking go, my man. Yeah, you've been through all circles of hell. Like even Marek, So I mean, Marek in our community,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's a G, and he's been through all of these circles and cycles as well, right? Like he was running drop shipping model, moved away from it, started building a brand. Now he's building, the kind of more like recurring model as well for his business, and it's kind of like he's constantly evolving, right? And that's what I mentioned. I see with you as well, that like, okay, you do it in one market, it works. You're learning some lessons. Now you're evolving to a better business model. You learn some lessons from that. Now you're evolving to another business model. And as times change, as platforms change, as market changes, as behavior of users changes, as competitive landscape changes, as economy changes, like you have to evolve as an entrepreneur as well. And that's what I see in you. That's why I have no doubt that you'll be doing like crazy numbers very soon.
Yeah, and definitely, man. I mean, I just see successful people, Marek and Simone. You just need to keep doing the things that you're doing actually, and not give up. And as long as you stick with it, you're gonna be successful. I've never seen someone like giving 100% on something and not being successful. So it doesn't make any sense. You just need actually to do the work, and the results are gonna speak for it for themselves. And eventually, it's gonna pay off. Yeah.
For sure, man. So we had a question here from I got this from oh wow, oh man, like ooh, like there's I just opened, there's like just so many questions
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I can see.
So let me see here. Oh yeah, I dropped this one. So yeah, let's do this one. Is the EU a good market to start if you're not from Europe as well?
Um, well, I think what I was thinking about actually, Europe is very good actually. It's If you see actually what's working in the US, and you try actually to duplicate the same thing in Europe, but duplicate it very well, not actually copy drop shipping, stores, and try to do it in Europe. Actually, you need to reverse engineer the big brand, big dogs, the big brands in the US, for example, see what they're doing and try to do it like in Europe and try to improve from that. Take that as a basis and try to improve on that. I think Europe is good if you do that actually. So if you do it this way, Europe is a good market. Uh, yeah, I mean, people that are like doing crazy numbers in Europe, and it's huge as well. I mean, if you compound all the countries there, I mean, it's a huge market as well, and it's less competitive than the US. Um, so usually brands they start in Europe, and then after that they go to US, because like it's much more competitive. So EU is like a very good market. Yeah, so it's very very good.
Awesome. So we have a question from Jesus' son. So, which country LLC did you set up for your business and payment processor?
For me, I have HK structure, Hong Kong structure. So I have a Hong Kong company, and you have all your payment processor as well. They give you Air wallets, and with that you can have like Hong Kong PayPal, and you have all of the payment processors, and yeah.
Awesome. So, question from Alan Foley. What do your funnels upsells look like in your business?
For me, like I was always doing redirecting people to the Shopify product page, but now as I joined ESS, I'm learning about VSLs, tutorials, funnelish, and building a funnel, and I'll start like testing this in comparison with just redirecting people to the Shopify product page and see how it goes.
Mm. All right. So I don't know if you can answer this one. Where to get strong agency accounts? Are accounts getting deactivated despite having fresh new content and no ad rejections? Once we scale, they die. Any suggestions?
Um, I mean,
Are you
there are a bunch. Yeah, there are a bunch of agency ad accounts. They can give you the ad account. I've never had issues actually so far with that. And actually, the thing you need to treat the root cause that gets your ad account like shut down or disabled. So you need like actually to double check what you're doing wrong actually that lead to your ad account getting shut down. And yeah, I mean, just like double check your creatives and see what's wrong, and in terms of Facebook policies as well, because a lot of people are just thinking about the consequences of like getting the ad account shut down, but the reason why is they're doing some shady stuff like on their ad account and creatives, and you just think about that. Get like a good agency ad account, and get like a solid structure when it comes to backups, like in terms of ad accounts. If one like get shut down, you have like a backup, and you can like keep running ads and keeping your business alive.
For sure. And yeah, Paul Kakeri, please DM me on Instagram. I have some suggestions for the agency accounts. So yeah, if you need help with that, please just ping me on Instagram. Question from Nilesh: how to deal with overwhelming product research and moving parts like meta and backend vendor issues? Give detailed answers with examples or learnings. So I think the question is like kind of like how to not overthink kind of the product research process, or like the backend, whether the product quality is good, like whether I should be selling this product, like kind of like people might be overthinking that part of the process.
Yeah, I mean, just like go with like if you validating the product like with Amazon, just go all with the after products like with good rating, good reviews, maybe like four and up, and see what are the good and the bad things, and try actually to improve the bad things. I mean, if there's like something related to low quality, see with your agent, for example, or your factory how you can make it like better, and yeah, this is the process.
And there is also, I mean, if you're working with good agents, I mean, they will do some
Yeah.
quality assurance for you. They'll get a sample of the product. They'll send you a video, and yeah, if you guys need some good agents, um like yeah, just DM me on Instagram. Also DM me right if you want to join Mohammed and other entrepreneurs in our community. So yeah, just DM me on Instagram. I'll give you the agents information. The agents that we're working with, they are sending us like the videos. Okay, so here's the product, how it looks. They show how it works, so we know it's a good quality product in the first place. I think it's a big one, because a lot of entrepreneurs start selling the product, and then it turns out it's a low quality, or they're sourcing it with some supplier or agent that's not trustworthy, and that causes them a lot of issues in the business.
Yeah, 100%. It's very important to check the quality of your product before you sell it, before you scale.
For sure. My man, thank you so much for joining me today. By the end of the year, you'll be at 1 million months. No questions.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I see it already, like, kind of your journey, your mindset. Your mindset is so like dialed in, and I think that's a foundation, right? That's like where all of the businesses are started. They're started here, and you have that. You also have experience, which is another like most valuable thing in business. If you have experience, if you have the right mindset, like you're like it's 80% of everything. And I'm looking forward to seeing you hit some big numbers, and just absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. And yeah, I appreciate the opportunity as well. I mean, to join your community and to be part of that like amazing community it's such a bless. So appreciate that, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, and I want to introduce you to some people. I'll introduce you to some people. I do some. We have some other communities as well, with some great insights to help you accelerate your business and scale it even faster.
Awesome. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mohamed. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Yeah.
Thank you, I mean, so many great questions here as well. Thank you guys so much. And let's keep building. Let's keep improving and scaling up.
Sure. Let's go.
Yeah, let's